Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Sarav, and in this video we are going to take a wholesale look at shallow cloning. In the realm of Git, a shallow clone is akin to a snapshot, capturing a moment in time without the burden of history. It's a partial copy of a repository, trimmed to a specified depth, thus reducing the amount of data fetched and stored. This can be particularly useful when dealing with large repositories, or when the full history is not necessary for the task at hand. Let's delve into the theoretical aspects of shallow cloning in Git and its alternatives, focusing on the conceptual discussion rather than specific commands. The essence of shallow cloning, at its core, is a minimalist's approach to version control. It's about embracing the present while acknowledging but not dwelling on the past. In a world where data can be overwhelming, shallow cloning offers a respite, a way to focus on the now, the current state of the codebase, without the baggage of every change that led here. The philosophy behind shallow cloning is akin to looking through a telescope at a distant star. You see the star as it is now, not as it was when its light first journeyed across the cosmos. Similarly, a shallow clone presents the latest snapshot of a repository, discarding the historical commits that are not immediately relevant to the current work. However, this approach comes with trade-offs. By ignoring history, we lose context. Just as a historian needs to understand the events leading up to the present to fully grasp its significance, developers may need the commit history to understand why the code is the way it is. Shallow clones, therefore, are best suited for scenarios where the history is either too cumbersome or unnecessary for the task at hand. Alternatives and their philosophies. When shallow clones are not the ideal solution, there are philosophies behind the alternatives that offer different perspectives. Partial clones. These are about balance, fetching enough to be functional without overburdening the system. They represent a compromise between the full history and the snapshot-like nature of shallow clones. Sparse checkouts. This method is about focus, honing in on the parts of the repository that matter most to you, much like an artist selecting the perfect colors for their palette. Git filter branch. This is about curation, carefully pruning the repository's history to retain only what is necessary, akin to an editor refining a manuscript to its essential message. Theoretical considerations. Theoretically, shallow cloning challenges the traditional notion of version control as a complete historical record. It raises questions about the value of history versus the need for efficiency. In the grand tapestry of software development, shallow clones are a single thread, highlighting the present, while the rest of the fabric, the rich history, remains in the shadows. So, when to use shallow clone? Shallow clones are best utilized in scenarios where the latest state of the repository is required, but not its entire lineage. For instance, continuous integration, CI systems that test the current state of the codebase without needing the history. Quick reviews or audits of the most recent changes. Development environments where storage or bandwidth is at a premium. So, what are best practices? When employing shallow clones, one should adhere to certain best practices to avoid complications. Specify the depth judiciously, as too shallow a clone might miss necessary commits, while too deep a clone negates the benefits. Use with caution in a collaborative environment, as it may complicate pushing changes and fetching updates from others. Combine with sparse checkout to further narrow down the data to the files of interest. Now let's look at the scenarios to avoid shallow clone. Despite its advantages, shallow cloning is not a panacea and should be avoided in certain cases. Full history analysis is required, such as when using JIT bisect to find regressions. Complex merging and rebasing operations are anticipated, which rely on a complete history. Contributing back to upstream projects, as it may lead to complications when integrating changes. A creative perspective. Imagine a historian who seeks to understand the present by studying only the events of the last decade. they would grasp the current state of affairs but miss the rich tapestry of cause and effect woven through centuries. Similarly, a shallow clone offers a glimpse of the now, with the past shrouded in the mists of truncated history. In conclusion, shallow cloning in Git is a powerful feature with specific applications. It streamlines the workflow by shedding the weight of unnecessary history, yet demands careful consideration to avoid pitfalls. Like a surgeon's scalpel, it is a tool of precision to be used with skill and respect for its limitations. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for your support. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to visualize your support in action. Your likes help us understand what content resonates with you. Sharing our videos with your network expands our community and spreads the knowledge further. Subscribing ensures you never miss out on our latest uploads. Hit the bell icon to stay notified. And your comments are invaluable. We read every single one. Let us know your thoughts, questions, and suggestions in the comments below. Thank you for being part of our journey. Your engagement makes all the difference.